Hi everyone, welcome back to another session of Exploring the Tarot. I'm going to just jump straight into it by picking a tarot card of the day and then connecting it to one of the Archetypes cards from Kim Kranz's Wild Unknown deck. So, what do we have today? Ooh, the one on the bottom is speaking to me, so let's go with the Knight of Pentacles. Love this image, the Knight of Pentacles. Alright, let's pick an Archetypes card, see what connections we can make between the two. The Dead End. That's fascinating. Interesting that these two images feel kind of, I don't know, aligned somehow. Alright. The Dead End. Let's see what Kim Kranz has to say about the dead end. The closed door, the final chapter, the impasse. Contrary to what its name implies, the dead end is very much alive. It is a force that stops us from moving forward as planned. It is thick, dense, uncompromising, a wall beyond all walls. With every bramble, thorn and stone, it simply states, "No more, child, you have reached the last page of this chapter." It is natural to resist its very resistance and struggle even harder to make our way, to prove our point, to hold on to what was. In this way we fight with life itself. From a mythic perspective, the end you face is very much a beginning. There are doors opening all around you, just not the one you planned on walking through. If you are honest and courageous enough to accept, adjust and adapt, the dead end becomes known as life's beginning. Reflect on dead ends in your past that led to unimaginable wonders. The moment you accept the ending, a feeling of grace will arise. Doors begin to open both inside you and in the world. Note that in most stories and movies, the moment the protagonist reaches the dead end, something riveting happens. You are the protagonist. Acceptance, humility, relief, reverence for change. As I mentioned, I think these two images really speak to each other actually. The handprint in the middle of this one and the way that the Knight of Pentacles is gripping on to his coin, and also the kind of thorns and brambles surrounding the hand and the sort of the thorns and brambly type clothing that the knight is wearing, and you can see that there's a feeling of struggle in his face, or at least this sense of needing to like push through something, and even the horse rearing up in that way. It's like they've come up against an obstacle, and there's a feeling of needing to like push through it. So I think there is really such a strong resonance between these two cards, just from looking at the images. Traditionally, the Knight of Pentacles is all about working hard. Of all the knights in the tarot deck, he is the one that seems less in motion, like much more stationary, slower moving, and the message that he brings is all about practical doing, right? Often we need to kind of work away at something over a long time, and consistency is really key. There's a feeling of determination with the Knight of Pentacles and faith in the work that you're doing, even if it seems really tedious or slow moving. Having some faith that what you're doing will amount to something in the end, will make a difference, will build into something. And yeah, it's all about having a strong work ethic, I think. Much less glamorous than some of the other Knights, but certainly an energy that is necessary and needed if you want to build anything in your life, if you want to create a vision for yourself, if you want to be successful. And that's what this card is all about. I think often when I've read descriptions of the Knight of Pentacles online or in other tarot books, one thing that gets a bit lost in that description, and something that I'm really drawn to talking about in relation to the dead end card, is that, you know, sometimes not all work that you do is aligned with who you are. Not all of the energy that you expend doing work is used in a way that is actually going to benefit you. So many of us, you know, work in jobs or do things that are actually trapping us further. And, you know, we know that we're in like a dead end job. We know that we're doing something that isn't actually going to get us anywhere. And so it's important to apply some consciousness to the work that you're doing, and to figure out if you do need to pivot and make a change and realign your determination and your focus and your faith and your commitment to something else. The dead end job image is really resonant with me. I was working for many years within jobs and industries and having a lifestyle that felt extremely stagnant, and you know, I was working really hard, I was embodying that energy, and yet nothing seemed to be moving forward, at least in terms of my own well-being and my own mindset. If anything, it was setting me back even more, and I was feeling more and more trapped with each day, despite the amount of work and effort I was putting into my job. And so much of that had to do with the fact that I wasn't truly looking at what lit me up from the inside. You know, what kind of work could I be doing where even the most tedious thing was worth doing, because the vision I had for myself at the end of that was worth working for. You know, and so much of this is about being able to see beyond the obstacles. You know, can you look further? You know, is an obstacle is only really ever worth working through or getting through if you can see beyond the obstacle, you know? And so the questions that really come up for me are, do you have a vision for what you want in your life? What are you working towards? What future are you trying to manifest? What are you bringing into being? You know, what for you personally is worth working and striving for? What is worth sacrificing for? What is worth doing all those tedious things that the Knight of Pentacles is so willing to do? What obstacles are you willing to work through in order to get to your desired outcome? And clarity is such an important part of that. Have clarity in terms of your vision for your future and what you desire. And if you do that, you're never really going to be at a dead end. No matter how challenging life and work becomes, you'll be able to push through it because you have something to work for. Thank you so much for listening to today, and I'll see you again tomorrow.